Hi, friends. So I'm back with another invitation to reflect in the lead up to the new year. So all you need to do is take a moment to slow down, pause, and allow yourself to really deeply listen to this insight that we're diving into. Today we will be learning from the amazing Deepak Chopra around the law of pure potentiality. Now, I know that many of us have different perspectives as it relates to spirituality, but just connect to the one that is most closest to your experience in life. The first spiritual law of success, the law of pure potentiality, says that our essential state is one of pure potentiality. Pure potentiality is pure consciousness. It is the field of all possibilities and infinite creativity. Our physical body, the physical universe, everything in the material world, comes from the same place. A field of silent, unmoving awareness from which anything is possible. There is no separation between this field of energy and our spiritual essence, our self. This field is our own self. And when we know that our essential nature is one of pure potentiality, we align with the power that manifests everything in the universe. Knowing who we really are gives us the ability to fulfill any dream we have, because the same field that nature uses to create a forest, a galaxy, or a human body can also bring about the fulfillment of our desires. Anything is possible in the field of pure potentiality, because this field is the source of all power, all intelligent, and infinite organizing ability. Therefore, success in life depends on knowing who we really are. When our internal reference point is our spirit, our true self, we experience all the power of our spirit. When our internal reference point is the ego or self-image, we feel cut off from our source, and the uncertainty of events create fear and doubt. The ego is influenced by objects outside the self, circumstances, people, and things. It thrives on the approval of others. It wants to control because it lives in fear. But the ego is not who we really are. The ego is our social mask. It is the role we are playing. The need for approval, the need to control things, and the need for external power are fear-based. This kind of power is not the power of pure potentiality, the power of the self or true power. Self-power is true power because it is based on the laws of nature and comes from knowledge of the self. Self-power draws things that we want to us. It magnetizes people, situations, and things to support our desires. This support from the laws of nature is the state of grace. When we are in harmony with nature, we create a bond between our desires and the power to make these desires materialize. So, what emerged for you while listening to this snippet by Deepak Chopra? There's quite a lot to unpack because the concept of pure potentiality is one that might be hard to grasp while we live in today's society of separatism. However, if we allow ourselves to connect to this silent, unmoving awareness that exists and creates all things around us, the trees, the birds, nature, then we too can create from the unseen. Now, this might be incredibly hard to grasp because we exist in a society that depends on what we can see, and anything that exists in the unseen is separate from ourselves. But if we can see ourselves in one another, if we can see ourselves in nature and life happening around us, then we can begin the process of connecting to our true selves. When we see ourselves as separate, as Deepak Chopra discusses, then we live in fear. We're driven by our ego and our need to control and our need for approval. So rather than asking you about who you truly are, my question for you is, how might you begin the journey of coming back to your true self? Deepak Chopra suggests starting with being silent and still and noticing what emerges. Often our lives are very busy. Even when we're not at work, we tend to find ways to distract ourselves and move away from ourselves. But when we are still, we begin to notice more of our true self emerging in front of our eyes. Another suggestion that Deepak Chopra shares, and one that I believe to be quite valuable, is connecting with nature. Now, you don't need to put on your hiking shoes and go to the nearest forest. All you need to do is go outside and observe life happening. Notice the birds chirping, notice how they interact with one another. Notice how you feel observing them interacting with one another. And then ask yourself, what does oneness look like for me in this moment? What I've found in my personal life of slowing down and noticing and observing is that there are things that I love that I had not known before, such as writing and reflecting. It seemed so obvious, but it was so far-fetched and beyond my own reach when I was busy muddling my life with the thoughts of others and the expectations of others. So I encourage you to simply embrace what emerges through this experience rather than needing an exact answer in this very moment. I wish you all the best on your journey. Be well.